Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much for joining us. This is day 3 of our NC 500 super adventure. We've got our wild camp spot down here. We had a very quiet, very peaceful night. And the location today, for those of you that watch the end of video 2, day 2, is Loch Assynt. And we've got the spectacular Ardvreck castle just down there on the foreshore. And if we pan our way around to the left, you can see the very famous Calder House just off down there in the distance. What a fantastic day that we've got today. Cloud cover still fairly high. I think today is the day of the change in forecast, so I'm fairly sure by the end of today we'll click into some rain, but no matter, it doesn't make a difference when you're in spectacular scenery as we are. So as always, grab yourself a brew, grab yourself a beer, make yourself comfortable, strap yourselves in, and let us take you on this day 3 Biking Buddies NC 500 adventure. Cue those titles.
Where do you go when you're young, when you're restless, when you're fun, cause you're desperate? Oh, here they come for a chance, for adventure. What's your poison, what's your pleasure?
Well, what a fantastic night that was. Unbelievable sleep. So we're done, we're off the field. We had a little visit from the National Park Ranger this morning, which was very, very nice indeed. He complimented us on how well we'd looked after the site. So we're just doing our ablution bits now. Just getting, thanks Rich. Cheers bud. So we're just doing our ablution bits now. We're just getting rid of our rubbish. Our campsite was over there, just on the headland. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so the campsite was over here, just on the headland, just in that fold, just beyond that immediate tree line. And we have Ardvreck Castle there. What an amazing place this is. Whoa, what are we now? We're on day 3, officially day 3. Day 1, day 2. Yeah, we're on day 4, sorry. Yeah, we're on day 4 of the NC 500. Who knows what day it is? That's a very good sign when the days start to merge into one. Let's switch over to mirror cam and just get a little bit of early morning footage for us and a little bit of backdrop scenery for you guys. Cheerio, hand it over to mirror cam. Well, I must say, for a morning ride coming out of Loch Assynt, working our way towards the coast, what an amazing road this is, just to wake you up, shake you up and dial you into the day ahead. Just really nice, long, very open flowing bends, this one. Just maintaining that speed all the way through. The bike just feels impeccable. I was just thinking there, you know, chatting to yourself as you often do as a biker. We ask a lot of our bikes on a day-to-day basis. We use them as weekends. Those of us that don't commute on a daily basis, we use them as weekends and we expect them to perform time and time again without question. But when you're doing a trip like this, the bike very definitely becomes the centre of your world. Your life orientates around the bike, what it can do, will it start, you charge everything from the bike, you navigate everything from the bike. And when you've got a big old lump of an adventure bike, you know, this is a 2015 bike, so it's no spring chicken. Touch wood, I'm not going to put the kibosh on this, but it has performed impeccably. I've been charging GoPro batteries, drone batteries, sat-navs and phones all the way through, and every morning on the button it sparks and fires over. So yeah, I really can't fault this type of bike in this type of bike. The other two have been exactly the same. Carl's on the KTM 1090 and Richie on the 1250 Adventure GS. Yeah, just absolutely fantastic, and it makes this kind of trip just so much more enjoyable. Okay, so we're off the bike, as you can see. We're down in Loch Inver. It's very early in the morning. Well, I say very early, relatively early. Certainly not early for myself, but it's just around about 9:15 in the morning. It is unbelievably still and tranquil here. Got the memorial behind us, looking absolutely fantastic. And what is really nice, which is kind of why I'm wandering down here, and this is what I want to show you, is just how peaceful and still this place is. This might actually be a little bit of a morning drone shot. So yeah, just have a look around here. How amazing does this look? Such a peaceful, tranquil place. I'd imagine it'd be very different blowing a full gale of wind and clarity of water. Wowzers. Look at that through there, unbelievably clear. And heading out west towards the Hebrides. Now, interestingly enough, this is where I've decided to take us on a little bit of an off-route detour. So whilst we're still working our way in the general direction of the NC 500, we've actually come off onto these little back roads, and we've got these for about 20 miles or so. And the reason being is it works as around a headline. It works as around a headlet. I can't speak this morning. It works as around a headland and takes us down to pick the main route up again. So we get some fantastic scenery, and we definitely push into rural Scotland, which is what I wanted to feel for this particular stage of the journey. Our third true day on the NC5. It's our fourth day in the saddle. As those of you that watched the earlier videos, day one, I didn't do any filming on that day. That was just the run up to Inverness. So yes, here we are on these little back roads, and this is very definitely local traffic only kind of roads. I love it that the road is just snaking its way along this burn. Absolutely beautiful part of the world this is. Unsuitable for coaches, cars and caravans. Perfect. So yeah, we should start to get some glimpses of Stack Polly when we get to the top of these hills. And these are very twisty, very windy, very adventure bikey kind of hills. And so far, since we turned off the main road, we haven't seen a single car. A long may that continue whilst we're on these technical sections. Let's jump over to mirror cam and we can see if we can get some footage of the big man behind us. You really do need to be calling on all of that bottom end grunt that these big old adventure bikes afford you. And hopefully when we come off the top of here, we should get our first view in full glory of Stack Polly. I think it's over to my left hand side, I think. I'm not entirely sure why I think that. But yes, it should be. No, we can't quite see it yet, just keeping itself mystically hidden. Little bit of haze, we can just see there how the bricks in the cloud and the layers in the cloud are forming. And I do feel that that's pretty much going to be the bulk of our day today. Wow, how incredible does this look when we're coming off the tops of here. Look at that. Oh my life. There are some seriously big mountains around here. Oh my word, would you just look at that. Unbelievable. There's hardly a breath of wind on the loch, which means we've got almost a mirror perfect reflection. Not quite mirror perfect, but I think for this time of year you'll take that 10 times over. What an amazing place. So that's seen us crest over the top. Now we're working our way down towards Ullapool. When I say down towards Ullapool, you always think of Ullapool as being way up north, and I guess it is really. But what's interesting is when you come out of these valley tops and you come across these kind of like no man's land, it reminds me very much, a little bit of a hillier version, but very much of Ranach Moor. And you've got some way snow-capped distant mountains there that you should be able to see from mirror cam. So one thing that we all commented on there that we've certainly seen a big increase in now that the day is slightly longer, we were reasonably early away this morning, is the increased flow. Wow, look at that behind me there. Mirrorcam should be capturing that. Yeah, it's certainly the increased flow of traffic, and I'm very glad that we're doing this journey at this time of year. I would absolutely hate to do this, I think, in the summer months. It would just be a circus of people going around. So we're now back on the official NC 500, and this sees us just pushing our way into Ullapool. We've probably got about 5 miles to go, I think, till we hit Ullapool. Beautiful road. And there we have it, stretching out in front of us. That is Ullapool. So that sees us just post-lunch leaving the seafood shack. What an amazing place. I'd heard about the reviews of this place, just sympathetically moving away from the diners there just as we leave. Yeah, I've heard reviews about the seafood shack. If you're ever up in Ullapool and you're a seafood lover, wow, you cannot go far wrong than come here. The queues were pretty much halfway down the street here, just past Ullapool Outdoor Centre. Yeah, so that's very indicative of how popular, but also how good the food was. So Ullapool, that was a very welcome stop. Fuel for the bike, fuel for the body, and a little bit of refreshment. Absolutely fantastic. Yes, the seafood shack, if you are ever passing through Ullapool, I would highly recommend that. There's lots of E2s around, as you'd well imagine, but yes, the seafood shack is definitely right up there for me. Lots and lots of choice, all locally sourced, all locally caught, and as you'd imagine, it's all seafood. They don't do anything else but. So as we ride along this epically stunning road, you can tell that we've had a slight shift in the forecast, which is exactly what was forecast, and that's because our cloud cover is just starting to descend a little bit, and it's just keeping the tops of the peaks up there in the clouds. So yeah, we're due to have a few sunny spells this afternoon, and maybe some light showers around about tea time, but certainly nothing to break our stride, and certainly nothing to dampen our enjoyment of this quite staggering place that we're riding in. So we're about 10 miles further south out of Ullapool now, and we've just pulled into Corrie Gorge. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but let's give it a shot. Corrie Gorge. It's a little bit of a walkway down through this natural gorge that's in front of us. So the walkway looks like it comes down here, and apparently there is a bridge or a suspended platform that you can walk out of and look down some monumental drop down into the gorge. So that's the general idea. That's what we're going to do. Looks like we've got a bit of an ablution block here as well, which is absolutely fantastic because we're in need of a little bit of a comfort break. So yeah, Corrie Gorge. Let's see what Gorge. Let's see what awaits. Okay, so here we go then. Cheers, Cal. Right. So yeah, I don't know if you can see down there behind me. There is a suspension bridge. I'm not sure if that's actually the gorge. I don't think it is. I think that's just the bridge that takes us up to the other side to take us over the gorge. And what's very interesting walking down here on this spring afternoon is we can see the primroses, there's wild garlic everywhere. Yeah, it's definite signs of spring. I mean, look at this. And that's really good to see, is those early signs of spring. It's still incredibly warm today, quite humid. 14 degrees we're showing, so yeah, it's all very pleasant. Okay, so here's the suspension bridge over the Corrie Gorge. I've not actually been over here yet. There's a warning sign there just above Cal's head saying maximum 6 people. Richie's just walked over it and it most definitely does sway. So it looks a long way down. That is unbelievable. Wow, look at that. We're directly above the waterfall, so let's turn you guys around and just throw you over the edge. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. What an amazing place. No more than 6 people on the platform at any one time. Ah, no drones, no way. Good job we left the drone. There's a no drones thing there. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go then. It is like the bow of the Titanic. Wow, look at that. Whoa, Kennedy grating, you can see straight through the bottom. Have a look over this end. Try not to lean out too much. That is a long, long way down. And look at that for the waterfall. I bet there's loads of phones down there that folk have dropped. Look at that. That was well worth the 5 minutes off the bike, that. Wow, nothing else that can describe that. Just wow. Well, that was an amazing little stop there, just having a look at the gorge. You could certainly ride past there and you'd never even know it was there. So we're bidding farewell to Ullapool, which is off and away in the distance down there to my right. And we're working our way ultimately towards Applecross. We're going to go through Kinlochhuey, Shieldaig, past Torridon, and then around the Applecross Peninsula before we drop down past Sand Bay, which was made very famous by Monty Halls in the first episode of Monty's Great Escape. And yeah, we're certainly riding into some amazing scenery here. Look at that, just snow-clad mountains. This next leg for the scenery and the road is going to be quite something else. So we're certainly making good use of these A roads that we're on before the A road then diminishes down to a single track road, which I know it does do for quite a considerable chunk of our distance. We're still showing 110 miles still to go, so yeah, this was always going to be a longer mileage day, and that was all in the planning. So Richie's kindly taken the lead now, just takes a little bit of a mental strain off me. I can just sit back and relax a little bit more. I'm just feeling a little bit fatigued this afternoon, a little bit tired. It's been a long couple of days so far, but very, very enjoyable. And the nice thing about the NC is certainly what we've seen so far is there's so many places that you can just stop, take a few pictures, get the drone in the air. I can seriously see why people could take a month or two and not see the same thing twice, nor would you ever get bored, and I don't think you actually would, to be fair. And it's nice riding just with a couple of mates. 3 bikes up is, in my very humble opinion, for something like this with wild camping, is the absolute perfect number. And this is what I mean, you come over these headlands and wow, I could fill hours and hours and hours of video for you guys. But that's not what it's all about. It's all about giving you a flavour and a feel of what the NC500 can offer, and then for you to come and discover your own NC500. And wow, look at that. Utterly beautiful. You get these descents up in the Highlands where it feels like you're going downhill forever. You never really feel the uphills, or I certainly never really feel the uphills, but the downhills, dropping down to these sea lochs, just absolutely incredible. And when you're riding with your mates the way that we are today, and certainly have been all week, it's an absolutely fantastic feeling. Wow, would you just look at that, eh? Richie does right. Yeah, this is a good photo opportunity. Here we go. There's just so many on the NC. Look at that. Let's cancel you. Don't want you to cancel. Let's leave the bike in gear. There we go. Wow.
That looks the bollocks, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
I thought, I better not just, even if they don't want him, I'd rather pull over. No.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Oh, I've got as many photos. It's not like we're up here every day, is it?
That's a belt of that, isn't it?
So we just passed through Loch Inver. We've got Ben A, and Ben A is that majestic mountain there just up to my right, and he's going to be company all the way through until we get down to Shieldaig, or rather Torridon, and then Shieldaig beyond. And we've got this single track, very iconic NC 500 style road to take us there. Oh my life, and wow. So we have Ben A to our right hand side, and look at that huge lump in front of us. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Leothak, and that's very much the signature mountain of the Torridon region, the Torridon range. And that's what lies ahead of us now. Utterly breathtaking. I love the fact that we're here at this time of year, so we've still got these little snow caps on the top. Come on, love, pull your bum in. Mind your bum, mind your bum. Yeah, I just love it that it's this time of year and we've got snow caps on the top there. It would have been nice to have a little bit more snow, but in all fairness, I mean, what we've got is absolutely fantastic. And these little passing places, it just gives us that time to absorb a little bit more what's around us. Wow, did you see his lights? Don't know whether the GoPro would have picked that up with them being LED lights, but his yeah, he put his lights on strobe as he went past us. So he just pulled up at the Ben A car park, and yeah, there's a deer as tame as you like, just stood there, got some photographs of him, or her should I say. And now we're pushing on down to towards Torridon and Shieldaig, and look at the company that we have. I mean, we literally are right at the foot of this mountain, and it's not that it's any larger per se than any of the other mountains that we've seen, but one thing that it is a lot closer, and that gives you the overall sense of height. Thank you very much. And when you're right underneath a 3,000 foot mountain, we are in the land of the Munros. Riding around this top section, man alive. I mean, look at this, utterly stunning. Okay, so this sees us pulling into Applecross Village. Now we're going to get some fuel tonight. The campsite is just up, pretty much directly above us. So we're going to get a little bit of fuel here so that we're ready and set and sorted in the morning. Ready for the ARF. Applecross Campsite, baby. Rattle, rattle, rattle. Reception this way. I guess that's us. And there we are, Applecross Campsite. So we've got one of the hobbit houses somewhere. Get checked in, and yeah, we'll take you for a tour once we're all checked in. If the bike doesn't fall over. Well, here we are at the very famous campsite at Applecross in Applecross. We're just above the pub. We've arrived. We've got our hobbit hut, which is the one just up there, far right hand side as you're looking. We're going to get ourselves sorted now. It's been two very fantastic days of wild camping, but bodies are most definitely now in need of a shower. So we're going to hit the ablution block fairly hard. Then we're going to have a little bit of food, sort ourselves out, get ourselves settled down. It's quite nice that we don't have to unpack all of the gear off the bike, tents, etc. We just need our sleeping bags, ablution kit, and some much needed clean and fresh clothing just to freshen us up a little bit. The trip so far has been absolutely epic. This is a fantastic finale to the end of day 3, and to round that off, I'm going to raise a toast to my family. They bought me for Christmas just gone this beautiful little hip flask from Stanley, and it is incidentally harbouring a rather nice 10-year-old Talisker. So Slanjivar folks, thank you very much, family. And what a lovely aroma and a lovely taste in a fantastic setting of Applecross. So I'm going to sign this video off now, folks. If you stuck with me to the end, then as always, thank you very much for your company. If you haven't done so already, then please go out, check out episode 1 and episode 2. I didn't do any filming on the way up to Inverness. That's just pretty dull and boring, so I am just filming the NC 500 over these 4 videos, this being video number 3. Incidentally as well, if you've also liked this video, then please hit that like button, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a share. A lot of repetition there. Yes, give it a like, give it a share, hit the thumbs up button, and if you haven't done so, then please subscribe. That does fantastic wonders for the YouTube algorithms. So from me in Applecross, in this beautiful tranquil site, I'm going to bid you farewell. Whatever you're doing, folks, wherever you are, keep it safe, keep it shiny side up, and we will catch you for the next one. Cheerio folks, bye now, bye.